let's talk a little bit about Roger Federer. Even though he hasn't played for a year, let's go back down the yellow brick road. No doubt about it, probably one of the most graceful players, champions ever to play the game. Let me break his game down a little bit. And what I want to start with, once again, the movement. And this is what people don't understand. You know, forget the forehand and backhand, I'll get to in a second. The wild card is the movement. Okay, if you're there, you have options. And if you have options, you can hit harder, you can hit softer. If you're there, you can play offense and defense. His movement, okay, is off the charts. One of the best effortless movers the game has ever seen, okay? And, you know, Federer, when he plays the game, because he's a one-handed player, okay, when he goes with his slice backhand, and I need everybody to understand this. Now, everybody has a slice, and then there's Federer's. I mean, that thing's way up here. He's coming down on it like the Switzerland butcher, okay? And there's so much backspin on it. You know, so much backspin, revolutions, and that thing's just biting through the court. So the quality of his production, okay, the way he knifes that ball, okay, his underspin, it stays super low. So it's one thing to have a slice, okay? Like Djokovic can slice the ball, but we're talking night and day. I mean, Federer's is 100 times better. The way he comes down on that thing and puts backspin on it. Probably because he's a one-handed player growing up and he's got a lot of more repetitions of knifing the ball. So what it does, when you go and hit a good hit on it, he'll run around, bang, and then he hits the forehand. So his backhand slice, no doubt about it, one of the best ever to play the game. And people don't realize that because we're always talking about the other things. Now, let's get into the forehand, where a lot of you know, you look at his forehand, and this is what I did back with USPTA when I first did this on the ATP forehand. And it kind of revolutionized, okay, the way the forehand was being taught. And, you know, the research that Dr. Brian Gordon, my partner, has done, and then I went out there and put this on video, and I broke it down into my own words, and this thing went viral. And a lot of people thought it was too much information, but it wasn't meant to be a tennis lesson or like I'd have given someone a headache. Okay, it was meant to be an educational tool of my way of helping other people. And looking back, we changed the way the forehand is being taught today. And the way I broke down Federer's forehand step by step by step, it became one of the best-selling videos of all time. So his forehand, okay, forget the grip. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. The grip orientates the racket. The grip doesn't determine, can I hit an ATP or WTA? That grip has nothing to do with it. The grip orientates the racket. That's it. Some grips make you hit it a little cleaner or a reduction of spin. Some grips will give you more spin. It's all good. All I'm trying to say with Federer's stroke, okay, he takes the ball right off the bounce. He has a hybrid grip. It's kind of between an Eastern and a semi-Western, so he hits it very clean. And then, obviously, you see the arm straighten out. So it's all these mitigating factors with his mindset to take the ball right off the bounce, plus he's always on balance, okay? Plus, when he hits the ball, that ability to look through the back of the strings. I don't know if he does that on purpose, but that's what I tell people to do. And keep his head still. He stays with contact. And he takes the ball right off the bounce. And everybody that plays him the first time, they always say, I just feel rushed. I just feel rushed. So Federer's forehand, the best ever. But let me talk a little bit about the serve. And this is what people are going to be confused about. If you have any questions, send me an email, okay? Good ones, bad ones, ugly ones, doesn't matter. Because the way I explain it, okay, a lot of this stuff is backed up by science. Federer's serve, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 serves in the history of tennis, okay? Forget the wind-up, okay? Forget the stance, forget everything that he does. That's all window dressing, pregame warm-up, that's an idiosyncrasy. Don't worry about that. That's a personal interpretation of how he's gonna do the serve, okay? What he does is when he gets into the power position, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, racket at 90 degrees, okay? You'll see other people, Isner, Pete Sampras back in the day, Opelka, you know, Roddick, they're more to the outside. Federer's a little closer in here. Doesn't matter. When you're here, you will get more racket speed, you will get a little more spin. That's all backed up by science. It is more complicated, but that's not what this is about. When he gets it to here, the way he uses his back leg and the leg drive initiates the racket in. And this is what 99% of the coaches, even play people on the tour, you know, that travel with these players, they don't understand the concept. Because most of the players on the tour, more on the women's side, the leg drive doesn't initiate it at the right time, and it's all incorrect. Federer, the legs drive the racket. He has more weight on the back foot. So what he does, he gets straight up. His vertical component's amazing. And people go, look how high he can jump. Look how high he can jump. Listen, he might be able to jump high, but he's jumping high because the way he's timing the legs with the racket, and it catapults him up in a straight vertical movement, so he's on top of the ball. So what does this mean? This is why I say he has one of the best serves ever. Highest percentage, okay? Most aces, all right? Can find angles like no tomorrow. The angle of descent of his ball is brutal, okay? That's why he delivers at crunch time. He gets that serve in there. And to me, this is what it's all about. When everybody on TV says, oh, he hits spots. No kidding, okay? The reason why is because fundamentally, from a science point of view, his technique is optimal. Don't get caught up in everything here. This gets you to the dance. How this is synchronized, that's showtime. And people don't understand this. You know, no one's looked at more high-speed video on the serve at 400 frames a second, or all these MRIs, okay? No one's ever watched this stuff. And when I see Federer, okay, the way he does his serve, okay, he just checks all the boxes. Very seldom you see him have, you know, bad serving days. Okay, now the next thing. Obviously, the mental part. Cool, calm, and collected, okay? Not too high, not too low. What a great role model. Don't trust me. He's not gonna maybe show it like Alcaraz or like Rafa, but they all feel it. They all feel it. Listen, you don't get to the mountaintop. You don't become that good, all right? Unless you have this burning rage, desire inside of you to compete. And what I love more than anything, and I'll wrap it on this, he just loves the competition. Anybody to play that long and be that great for that long, anybody, anytime, anywhere, he just loves to compete. All right, he doesn't need to. I mean, look, he's Roger Federer. Look what all he's done. What a great, great role model. So for any parent or coach, okay, just watch how these guys at the top handle things when they lose a point. And there's no one better at that than Roger Federer.